Hello guys, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. When I released my introduction video, someone reached out to me and asked what I meant by sexual triggers. So today our topic is going to be on sexual triggers, and I'm also going to explain to us how I had my own triggers at 16. I think I was in SS2 at that time. But sexual triggers are anything that can make us want to have sex or have the feeling of intimacy. Right? This could also be a feeling that we decide to fuel. Sometimes sexual triggers are not even sexual in nature. An example can be seen in just staying at home or feeling sad, feeling bored, feeling depressed, and then we decide to make ourselves feel better. Remember, everybody has triggers, everybody has desires. It is God Himself that has created these desires, so it is good. When and how we respond to these triggers determines if our sexuality is being expressed in a healthy or unhealthy way. Knowing your triggers help you to build a healthy relationship with others, with anybody, with a casual friend, with a friend at work, in church, anybody, right? When you know your triggers. If you want to build a relationship based on respect, you need to set boundaries. And for you to set boundaries, you need to first of all understand your triggers. That's why you see in cases where somebody just met somebody and then you've gotten down with that person already. Or maybe a casual friend at work, right? You decide to close from work and just chill at their place and you've gotten down already. This is because you're not able to identify your triggers. If you're able to identify that, spending late hours in somebody's place, right, in someone's apartment can trigger you, then you avoid them completely. If you know that doing a very lengthy video call can trigger you, then you avoid them completely. You're able to identify those triggers. This particular thing triggers me. So when it comes, you'll be able to recognize them and stop them or avoid them. So let's mention some of these triggers. An example can be seen in a massage, right? Some of us will say we want to go to a friend's house to receive massage or ask a friend to just massage us because we're exhausted, right, from work. And you know that those things will trigger you. And you go there and receive massage, and massage to another thing. We also have spending time in our boyfriend's house or in a random friend's house, or in our classmates or classmates just finished lecture and maybe your next lecture is in like 3 hours. You now say, oh, let me even go to this friend's house and go and spend time, and you know that you going there is a trigger to you. Why don't you just avoid it? Do you understand? Some of us, we can't, they're triggers to us, so why don't you just stay in your classroom and wait? Oh, like, we got this, I got this, I'm not attracted to him. Before you know, another story has entered. Another can be seen listening to music to sexual themes or watching romantic movies, right? Some of these songs, especially with girls, like all these, I'm not good at these songs, but let me think of one. Something like, love me like that, hold me like, I don't really lyrics, I don't know, listening to all those kind of touchy romance, music that make us start thinking of things, and then we now feel those thoughts, right? Then we get triggered. We should avoid them. Avoid romantic movies too. Another can be seen in watching pornography. An example, we're just on our phone and it just pops out. We're just browsing something and you're seeing click here, click there, and it pops out, right? These points can never be overemphasized. Like those kind of things, you may not be able to avoid them. Or what do you do when it comes, right? A very good example can be seen in comparing the story of King David and Joseph. When Joseph saw Potiphar's wife, what happened? He did not think of it. I can tell you for free that guy reacted to it. Seeing that lady naked, he reacted to it, but he did not feel that thought. He ran, like he forgot his shoe. And King David saw Bathsheba, right? He decided to feed that thought. He said, oh, she's beautiful. And humans, we are greatly moved by what we see. We should just understand that this is one of our triggers, right? So that when they come, we'll be able to recognize them and prevent them. Unnecessary video calls. Sometimes we even have those kind of long video calls with casual friends. Oh, you'll be talking, they've asked you how was your day, how this, nothing else to talk about. Then you start talking, what are you wearing? What did you not? We should avoid them. Another again can be seen in discussing your sexual experiences or what you want to experience with somebody. Those can be triggers too. You're just having a casual conversation with somebody and then you're talking about things you've done, things you're yet to experience. It could trigger you. So we should just avoid them completely. Being in a compromised emotional state, right? Sometimes we're insecure about a particular thing. A very good example can be seen in ladies that just met a guy right? And you guys are really flowing your conversations, you're all talking and all of that. And then you're unsure of what this is about because the guy has not come out straight to ask you out. You're unsure. And then because of you're so insecure, instead of you to deal with that emotion of being insecure, you decide to give sex to receive love, which is wrong. At this point, we expect us to deal with their emotions. And the last one I'm going to talk about is reading erotic novels. This was the one I experienced when I was 16. I was in SS2 at that time. So at that time, I was exposed to reading erotic novels, right? All these romance novels, what we did at that time was, and they're usually not so large. So we exchange. So they give you this, you read for today and you swap, because if you don't finish reading, they will give to another person, right? So I was exposed to that. And those things triggered me. When you read erotic novels and you come across different chapters where they are talking about all sorts of things, they are triggers and we should avoid them. If you don't want to feel like you are at the mercy of your triggers, you need to first of all identify them, then set boundaries. There are various steps in dealing with these triggers. Number one is identifying these triggers. Then number two here says, think of an effective way to avoid them or prevent them or respond to them whenever they come. Because sometimes we cannot avoid them completely. But how do you respond to them? An example can be saying you're just on the internet and something pops up. What do you do next? Do you decide to get inquisitive of what that picture or what that video may be and open it and then we get triggered? Or do you decide to just delete it completely, you're browsing or doing whatever thing you were doing? Another point is, if you're in a relationship with somebody that respects your boundaries, then tell them your triggers. While doing this, we should be very careful of how we do communicate these triggers, because sometimes in communicating your triggers, you will now get triggered. In saying that, oh, this thing, doing like this triggers me, you will not even get triggered because the person is trying to understand and, contribute, and then you get triggered. So be very careful while communicating your triggers to your partner. Another point here is getting an accountability partner. For me, I'll advise the same sex, right? You can tell them what triggers you, tell them how you intend dealing with these triggers, right? You can also, even at the point of you being triggered, you can send a text to them, hey, triggered, right? So the person understands, the person can call you, and that accountability partner should be dedicated. But the person can call you immediately, and calling you or praying with you, right, can break that train of thoughts completely. If you're at the mercy of your triggers for a long time and you're trying to break through from it, don't expect to do it all by yourself. Get somebody you can trust. Another point is get busy. Sometimes when we're just on our bed, in our house, we can just feel triggered. Get busy. You can decide to leave the house for fresh air. Another point is saying it loud. What's going on to my mind? You can just say, why am I getting triggered again? You can say it loud, right? At that time, your mind is already at alert. Another point is praying and discipline. The Bible says that self-control is a product of the Holy Spirit transforming our inner mind. And for us to have this, we need to be in a relationship with the Holy Spirit. So prayer does a lot of work in it, and being disciplined. For some of us that decided to do better with our triggers, our sexual desires, and set boundaries, been pushing on that particular thing, and then our partner is not getting it, then you say, let you go to his house to make your point, to make a stronger point, or tell him of the last time, I advise us not to do that again, because when you go there, you will be triggered, because the energy from the other side is even, you understand, you and the other person are not even on the same page. So don't go to his house to say you're going to make your point there. Stay in your house to make your points. Do you get what I'm saying? That you be like, my ex has been disturbing me, let me even know what he's saying, let me tell him for the last time. You now go there, tell me for the last time, you now renew whatsoever. So please, let's just remain firm from where we are. Some people will say, I have self-control, I got this. Ask yourself sincerely, at the heat of the moment, is my self-control enough? Alright? At the heat of the moment, is my self-control? And then give yourself a sincere answer to that. We all have weaknesses, we all fall down, but we can get up and try again by by the help of the Holy Spirit. So guys, that was how I had triggers at 16 from reading romance novel. We can also share our own triggers. We can also share other ways, in controlling or avoiding these triggers, right? So that we can all learn from you. Don't forget to subscribe. Click on the notification button so that you can get notified when we post our next video. We're posting a video this week. So click on that notification button and then you like, you share, you comment. See you guys in my next video. Bye.